The big one for us when we structured our compliance group was to focus on outcomes and principles, and that has really served us well. If you were trying to keep pace with a rules-based approach where you kind of read the letter of the law and it's like, if this, do this, if this, do this, you must do this, you'll just go bonkers. You can't keep up with something like that. Instead, the kind of approach that we use is really focused on, like, what's the essence of this thing? Don't deceive the user. That is a principle I can get behind and build into my product. And you can bring the compliance team along to make sure that there's no sort of red flashing lights. But if you're trying to, mitigate gray areas and kind of figure out the nuance, I think that's a wasted effort. It's really, what's the principle here? Can we look each other in the eye and say we're honoring it? And are there any clear kind of violations that would put you in trouble with the regulator?
What risk management frameworks work in a time with so many new technological risks?
A lot of traditional frameworks still work. So what's the probability of something bad happening? How bad does it get if that thing happens? So that's a framework that you use. I think the real difference is you have to apply that framework as a leader over a much broader set of risks, which means building and leveraging teams that cover a wider set of responsibilities. And I think that also means building tools that can anticipate how much instability there might be.
How is artificial intelligence changing your approach to portfolio analysis?
A big move that we have been making over the last year and a half, specifically with AI technologies, we have automated a couple of the data pipelines, and that has helped keep our fixed expense very low relative to the markets we serve. So we have 2 products in 9 different markets, even though we're a sort of mid-sized company, about 650 million in revenue. And really the only way we were able to do that is automating, and AI and those tools have enabled us to achieve that automation.
With climate-related and ESG risk becoming more relevant, how are you integrating these factors?
Sadly, in the US, I think climate and ESG concerns have probably become less relevant over the last year or so. But the ESG framework that we use globally is really kind of focused on the core risks of the business and the core governance risks. For us as effectively a consumer lender, the climate-related risks, the biggest change for us has been our natural disaster handling. So we've seen many more sort of typhoons, extreme weather events, and in all instances, what we'll do is proactively give credit so that people can continue to use their devices, even in the event of a natural disaster. So that's been probably the biggest change for us as an organization.
What challenges arise when adapting global risk management to Mexico's local market?
The biggest shocks to our business have been through sort of the tariff tantrums and just the volatility of the Forex rates. And so thankfully, for over 2 years now, we've had a pretty disciplined hedging practice in place. So it's worked incredibly well. So I'm very grateful that we've had that. So it's, you're in the money, you're out of the money, but the good thing is, it fully hedges your operations. Some options, it was a forwards program initially, and then we started doing swaps and options to decrease the cost of the hedge.
How do you maintain a skilled risk team in data science, machine learning, and modeling?
We found that you needed to bring together machine learning, data science, AI, risk strategy, fraud strategy, compliance, all kind of into one bucket, and to have it very motivated on business growth. And that's a big part, I think, of how we've gotten some of the kind of hyper growth that we've experienced over the last 4 or 5 years. Bringing that all together so you can kind of move quickly, take smart risks. And so one of my teams is our quant team that runs all of the financial valuation, or is kind of the handshake to the finance team, machine learning and AI, and then the traditional risk strategy teams all kind of housed together. Don't keep those groups siloed and apart from each other. Put them all together every week. So all like my leads, those teams work. Cycle people across groups so that they understand what each of those other groups is doing. I think on another one, I had given the advice of you don't want, if you let people get inherently too deep, which is a temptation if you're a larger organization, their knowledge and their ability is going to be less resilient than if you help them build a broad set of tools, especially early in a career.